we got.
So thank you, Allison, for your leadership. It really helps.
We're doing it together. Yeah.
Okay. We're going live. Oh, hit the consent. Hello, everyone. I am Pamela Gilchrist, and we are actually having Be Well Wednesday on a Tuesday. So that's why we called it Be Well, Be Free. And I'm very excited to have my beautiful leaders, mentors, friends, business partners, Allison and Jared, and Eric here with us. I asked them on because I think it's such a beautiful, supportive relationship that they have created and that they passed down to us. And that's how we're supported and taught, and they just believe in us so much. And I've never been a part of anything really that just pours so much of their leadership into us, and done with love and respect. And I just think that is so beautiful, that I think it's a big part of why a lot of people stay here. And so I just wanted to be able to the world to know how amazing that is. And that, I mean, Eric saw something in Allison where, I don't think she's been seen like that before. And it's just so beautiful how Eric just poured into her and believed in her. And I think that just needs to be shared. So here we are. Welcome, Allison. Would you like to share?
Yeah, thank you so much for creating this call and paying forward. It's like this, the most beautiful pay it forward mission. I know Jared has only until 6:15, so I want Jared to pipe in here. But let Jared speak first about this, and then I'm going to take it over from there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pamela. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everybody. It's amazing. Just in this short time that we've been doing it, to see how many different kinds of people can find success and find freedom with it. And I'm talking health success, physical, mental, financial success, time success, and that for us, like we're kind of doing a standard American lifestyle, and seemingly very comfortable life, but Allison was having a mental decline. It was taking a toll on us, me being gone out of the house working 9 to 5, and her being medicated. It was just like, this is a situation that most people just find themselves in because it's so common, but it's not normal. And what we discovered is that through like natural food, real food, we transformed, and it was profound. So this is the something at its core that's very heart centric, and that's why, like you're saying, we pay it forward. The kindness that we experienced, that Allison was gifted, we gift that forward and create happiness, kindness, health, freedom for others. And it's just so gratifying. It's so rewarding. And all the little stories that are happening now with all these different people, like Pamela, like coming to LA, like totally out of her comfort zone to come be with us at an event, was like, it was a testament to, we would have said never, like this couldn't happen, it's impossible. And then here it is happening, it's real. And drawing on the success of others is what we do, just like learning from others' experiences, and just using those to create success for other people. I'm just really grateful that Allison, brought this into our lives, because I was super apprehensive. I was not willing to accept something new and different like at this level. And thankfully the food works and it creates a change. It transforms you. It's the ultimate lifestyle transformation, and that's what we do, and that's what we pay forward. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks, Jared. Jared's my husband, for those who don't know, who are watching. So we started this business, well, we started as customers 6 years ago, almost 6 years ago now, October 2018, and fell in love with the food. Really had a transformation, as Jared's saying, like mental, physical, all around. I mean, it made me confident. Who knew that food could do that? It's crazy, but it does. And not just the food, but the support that you get, and then the opportunity. So people say all the time, like, oh, they say, oh, I don't do MLM. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have done an MLM either had I not like loved we share naturally all the time things we love. Like everyone who, I know it's very common to share your, Starbucks that you're drinking, or wherever you're at, like share your food and tag the restaurant, and whatever you like, we share. So because it was something that I started with tasting this food, here I'm having a green juice. This green juice is just so, it's really phenomenal. Like I had tried other green juices. There's just something special about this one, and it really has a effect. You feel it right away. And so I knew if it didn't have an MLM, if it wasn't a company that had this affiliate program, I still would have shared it naturally, but I was excited that it had this opportunity with it, because it was something that it was just a no-brainer. I loved the food. I loved the company. I loved the owners. I loved the culture. And, when I started coming onto the calls and hearing other success stories from people, that's when I saw myself. I was like, oh my God, wait, like, because I never saw myself in kind of, network marketing. For whatever reason, I didn't resonate with the whole culture of it. But we can't brush anything with one stroke. Everything is so, we really can't stereotype. When I got into this and saw my people and like heard the words, like, because of my language, and I was just like, wow, I could do this for the first time ever. I really believed that I could do this. And, Eric was Eric was leading the way as showing what's possible. Like it really blew my mind to see someone that I was, introduced to in this company that I became, we became friends. And I'm just like watching him leave his corporate job he's going to be talking about in a second, and, free himself completely and get to this level in his business. And, Eric is such a down-to-earth person. You're going to hear him speak in a second. And I'm just like, wow, okay. It really, the people in this business who are successful, they're not what maybe typically see as like, like you can't touch, like big ego, like these, what you sort of associate with success. These are successful people who are heart-centered and want to help us. And it's a beautiful incentive program that there's people in this business that are, in real time, really having success and helping others. And we're always improving. And it's like, it's always, this business, what I love is it comes into everyone's life, meets everyone where they're at, no matter what their job is, no matter how busy they are, no matter if they're stay-at-home moms or, really busy entrepreneurs, whatever age, whatever education. I love that it's equal playing ground, that anyone can do this. And truly it gave me a purpose to succeed, because I needed so badly. It's like a fire in me to show people like myself who struggled. Like Jared was saying, I had serious mental health issues and serious blockages that I never thought I could be successful. And so to find an opportunity that I can do this and I can show other people the way. And so I'm, so grateful to be witnessing Pamela following in that footsteps and just achieving success and showing other people what's possible, and really opening doors for people that never thought, they can achieve success at this level. So thank you so much, Pamela, and thank you, Eric. And I'm so grateful for all of this. Thank you.
Wow, Allison, thank you. What a beautiful share. Um, I I feel the same way that you do in this company. It's just so heart-centered. I've been part of other MLMs and just never felt this level of support and love. And the, I mean, Eric telling us all the time what he tells us, I believe in you. And, even if you don't believe in you, I believe in you. And it means so much. So I'd love for everyone to hear from Eric.
Well, thank you so much, Pam, for hosting this call. And thank you to all of you for being here. I get inspired when I hear people like Allison and Jared share their stories of transformation. One of the most beautiful things in the whole world is witnessing someone transform. If you've ever been a part of that, if you've ever either gone through a transformation of any kind or you've had someone close to you transform, you know how powerful it is. And to be able to experience and witness the transformation of others over and over and over and over and over again, and you never get sick of it, is one of the most beautiful aspects of this journey and this business model. And I personally have been able to witness one of the most profound transformations that I've ever seen, and that's that of Allison and Jared. In particular, I saw Allison overcome a litany of self-limiting beliefs that she held when I first met her. And she was this beautiful, vibrant person that she is today. But her outlook and her mindset was completely different. And I think even she would admit that she's come such a long way in how she views her life, how she views her own success and that of others. And that's had such a profound effect on me, just witnessing her go through that transformation. And this has had such a powerful effect on those around her. She's been able, through her own transformation, help literally thousands of people, many of you here on this call today, to go through a similar transformation. And that's super powerful. This is a transformation that goes beyond the body or physiology. It goes into the mind, the spirit, our mentality, and that's just a really special thing. So I think if you ask more people, or most people, would you prefer abundance or scarcity? They would tell you abundance. Would you prefer more time freedom or less time freedom? They'd probably tell you more time freedom. Would you rather enjoy wonderful, vibrant health, or would you rather be sick? Probably tell you I'd rather be healthy. Would you rather be in a position of service where you can help others and make a difference in the lives of others? Or would you rather not help others? Probably say I'd rather love to help others. Would you like to grow personally and professionally, or would you rather stay stagnant? They probably said, prefer to grow. See, inherently, people want all of the benefits that network marketing offers. What they don't realize sometimes is that the vehicle that can help them achieve all of those things is this incredible, beautiful business model called network marketing, where you can not only build an incredible residual income and enjoy all of the benefits that I just mentioned, but even greater than that, you can help others achieve the same. And with all of the financial benefits that comes with being successful in this profession, we really have the ability to create an unlimited residual income. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month that can be generated with the time freedom to actually enjoy it. That's the biggest difference, because when I worked in the corporate world, I was making good money, but ask me how much time I had to enjoy it, because when you're working 70 to 80 hours a week, there's not much time or energy left to do much with the money you're making. You're really so tired, all you want to do is just rest and sleep whenever you get a chance. So not only do you have the ability to create that income, but you have the ability to own your own time, to create the lifestyle and schedule of your dreams, to work on your terms when you feel most productive. If you're a morning person, fantastic. You can be more productive in the morning, get all your work done in the morning. If you're a night owl, great, sleep in every day and work in the afternoons and evenings. You see, you create a work schedule that revolves around you, that revolves around your own personality, your own skill set. Different people are more productive in different environments. For me, I prefer working outside. I like sunshine and fresh air. That's just me. I oftentimes like working in front of the ocean, living here in South Florida where we have ocean access. I feel more productive with the beautiful blue ocean, in the background, me sitting on the beach. I spent way too many years in air conditioning in a shirt and tie, and nothing wrong with that, but just me. My flow state is when I'm outdoors. I also prefer working next to my beautiful, sweet little dog, Alfalfa. He brings me so much joy, and I just love working next to him. And it used to pain me to have to leave in the morning and not see him all the way until the evening. And I know he didn't like that either too much. So, we get really attached to our pets. And one of the things I love about having flexibility in my schedule is to be able to work right alongside my little baby, and to work in the environment where I feel most productive. And many, many people out there are the same way. We're not all built the same. And when you have that control, when you have that flexibility, you can design the perfect, most ideal work schedule and work environment for you. See, everything's customized. That's the beauty of it. And even better than that, you can help other people do the same. And being able to make a real difference in the lives of others is worth more than the biggest residual income paycheck you can ever get. It really is priceless. And that's what I love so much about this business. So if you're someone out there listening to this, if you are contemplating a career change, you just want to get more fulfillment, more satisfaction from the work you are doing, you want to be able to make a difference in the world while making an income at the same time and not have to choose between the two. You want your cake and you want to eat that cake too. Then I would highly recommend you to take a serious look at the profession of network marketing. Really sit down and understand what it takes to be successful. Take a look at our compensation plan, our Fast Start program, which can pay you in excess of $3,500 in Fast Start bonuses plus residual income. Find out what it takes. Talk to some of the leaders. Find out what they're doing. Learn from them. Join our mentorship program, our community of people, like-minded individuals that are all supporting one another to achieve an individual and collective success. If those are things that you're looking for, take a serious look at network marketing, but don't just take a casual look at it. Take a deep dive. Really go in deep. You can become a Purium brand partner for about $360, which covers your products, your first 30 days of superfoods. The actual business plan is free of charge. I don't know how they're doing it, but they do it. And so you can become a brand partner, you can join our mission, and you can help us in spreading the word and helping more people get on the path towards better health. But even more than that, to join a journey of personal and professional development, mindset work, busting through all of the notions that you may have been raised with breaking, smashing through all of those, and really digging in and finding your own true potential. Think about that. What is your true potential? What are you capable of? Think about that. How deep does the well go? I would ask all of you to contemplate that. And if you decide to join us, which I would encourage you to do, don't hesitate. Find out how you can join this mission today. Let us help you get started and on your way to the path of success. Thank you so much for the opportunity. With that, Pam, I turn it back over to you.
Eric, thank you so much for that powerful share. And I hope you know, like, how much we appreciate your leadership and Allison and Jared's leadership, and how much it means to all of us just to be able to have, you know, to be seen here. That's so very huge. So thank you so much. Thank you everybody who's coming. I like to keep this, you know, short and sweet and to the point. So we're going to end here, but thank you so much for coming. And if somebody has shared this with you and this is piquing your interest, make sure you get a hold of them. So, I mean, if you're already a customer, like, get a hold of the person who shared this with you, and they will guide you how to step up and do what we do. If you're not a customer yet, reach out still, because we have amazing products to share with gift codes that you can save $50 or 25% off, whichever is greater. So you get it, great rewards no matter which way you decide to go. But we're so passionate about what we do here that we just want everybody to join. So I want everybody to feel the love that I feel and that everybody feels. So if I can do it, anybody can. So thank you for coming, and thank you to our wonderful, wonderful guests. And with that, I will stop recording and Facebook Live.